What's up, guys? It's Pete from the Boat Breakers, and I went on 6 different cruise lines this year so that I can bring you guys the best content possible. If you've never seen my face before, I'll have you know I would love it. I would absolutely love to be your 14th favorite cruise channel here on YouTube. Anyways, I'm going to take you through a very honest review of the Wonder of the Seas and my time on the ship. So I had a blast on this cruise. October 15th, out of Orlando, Port Canaveral, and I narrowed my happiness down to a couple cruisagories, and that's categories for cruises. I'll be here all week. So let's start with the obvious. This ship is like one of the best, if not the best, ships I've ever stepped foot on. This ship had 20 bars, which we have a video out for on our channel already, so if you want to see all the bars on the ship, I'll link that in the description. But it had some of the most magnificent bars I've ever seen. There was a rising tide bar, which would start in the Promenade and go to Central Park. That was wonderful. It was crazy. You know, you're in a bar and every 30 minutes it would go up and down. They had the view bar, which when you were in port, you could see, I mean, not even in port, but it was just beautiful views. And just like every bar on the ship was just amazing. Like every bar had drinks specifically designed for that bar. And I feel like they don't do that on other cruises. So the whole ship was crazy. The whole ship was wonderful. I won't do that again. But I think there was 4 main areas I'd like to highlight, and I think those are some areas that you guys should see if you're considering going on this cruise, or if you're looking for a review or whatnot. So I'd like to go over those 4 areas with you really quick. So the Promenade is like the ship's like main street. It's lively, it's bright. A lot of fun. You'll find shops, cafes, cool entertainment there, a few parties, a few events. It's where the ship's heartbeat meets, shopping and dining. Central Park, imagine a peaceful park in New York, but on a cruise ship. Lush greenery, trees, a calm atmosphere. I saw birds there, kind of crazy. And it's like home to upscale dining, shops, and a touch of sophistication, Now the boardwalk, this is where some family fun begins with some nostalgic seaside vibes. There's a carousel, there's some casual eats, there's a bar, a lot of vibrant entertainment, and that's where the Aqua Theater hosts some really cool water shows and performances. Last is the solarium. This one's for adults only. It's a chill out zone. It's glass covered, air conditioned with comfy loungers and a few hot tubs to choose from. Perfect for a relaxing escape with a pool and bar vibes. So next up, if you didn't already know, I would love to be the first to tell you that Royal has the best entertainment on the seas. They claim it themselves. I went there, I verified, all the shows were magnificent. But I would like to say that's with a caveat. When you're the best at something, something else has got to take a hit. When we first got onto the ship, you were able to go to a booth to reserve shows. Now, I'm going to mention this again in my negative review side, but everything was booked up. I literally couldn't get into a show. I can get into like 2 shows, and all they said was you have to show up during the time of the show to see if there's seats that people didn't take, right? Now, that was the case, fortunately, but keep in mind I went October 15th, which is like a slower time. I don't know if that's a slower time. I might have just made that up, but we were able to see every show, but we had to wait in like a separate line to go in and see these shows. But again, I would like to highlight that the shows are magnificent. The aqua shows, there's ice shows, acrobatic shows, tap dance shows, singing shows, superhero shows, which the technology is off the charts for that. That's it. I'm not going to show clips of it. I just want to let you know, get on that ship, grab a drink, and go see a show. Reserve the shows as early as you can in the app. I made that mistake. A lot of people made that mistake. You don't want to be on the reserve list because it's kind of inconvenient. You'll be eating dinner, and because you didn't reserve it, you don't even know if you're going to get in. I do want to mention, though, I did get in every single time I did wait on that line, which is a little confusing, but it was something I had to do. Now, before I switch over and take a swim in some of the negatives, I'd like to mention that this cruise was pretty damn expensive. It was $2,600 for 2 in an interior cabin. That's before we even added the alcohol package, which I won't even mention how much that was. So in comparison to other cruise lines, it's up there, and we all know that. Now, obviously, this isn't a con, but I feel it is my job, and it's something that I'd like to report on in this video. Now, the Loyal to Royal didn't come from nowhere, so it doesn't bother some people, you know. I just thought it's an expensive cruise. Let me give you a little taste on how I found this cruise. I went over to Royal's website, boom, 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 boom. I searched the ship, Wonder of the Seas. I didn't put in any dates because I really wanted to get on the ship. Searched only the ship, let the dates flow down, and then I hit sort by lowest. The first one to come up was October 15th. So that price I just gave you was probably the cheapest you can get in interior. So again, it's what I landed on, October 15th, sorted by cheapest. Got on it, don't regret it. I'll probably get on the Icon too, but I'm just letting you know. So I'm not sure how to start this list. It's a very small list of little nitpicky things for me to you that I thought I would mention. Again, this is kind of based around my personality, what I like to do on cruises. So without further ado, first up, the nightlife, the nightclub. Really not existent. Again, this could have been because I chose October 15th and, you know, clubbing people, I don't know what that means, weren't on the ship. So there was only like 5 of us in the club at a night, and that's a big for me because I like to dance. We are the boat breakers. So this next one's going to be a bit controversial. Controversial alert. I thought the specialty restaurants were just okay. Keep in mind, I went on 6 different cruise lines this year, so that's where I'm pulling this from. I didn't have a great time in any of the restaurants. I wouldn't have said that this steakhouse is better than Carnival's or MSC's. I'm just saying this is how I felt. And I do want to mention, because I did see it on people's pros list, Wonderland, I thought gimmicky, and I just thought the food was disgusting. Everybody I was with 3 other people, they agreed with me. So I don't know, you know, the people that are putting it on their pros, I'm putting on my cons. Everything was mushy and warm, and they gave us like a test tube of like fish oil, and it was disgusting. Again, I mentioned this before, but show reservations, I kind of dislike the need for a reservation for a show, and Royal was kind of the only place I had to reserve for a show, and it was a hassle, like, because, you know, what I told you, I didn't get on the reserve for anything. I was on like standby, so had to hit my con list. It was also gonna hurt. I thought it was a bit gimmicky, the Bionic Bar. So, you know, it was Royal's staple in the beginning. We have 2 arms that serve drinks. It sounds cool. It does look pretty, but again, a bit gimmicky. It's slow. It's messy. They had this after every like 5 drinks, they had to stop it, shut it down for 10 minutes so somebody can come in there and clean it. So again, bit gimmicky, and they used a lot of lingo that a non-bartender like myself wouldn't know. I didn't know what mudding was. You go ahead and roast me in the comments. I just don't know what mudding means. But anyways, I did try it out. I thought it was okay. The trivia was just very lackluster on this cruise. In the Schooner Bar, they had it in a bunch of different locations, and that's something I like to do. I love doing trivia. I'll always go to them. It just seemed like they didn't really care about it. It's not that hard to do. I just didn't care about it as much. And the Karaoke Bar, when it had trivia, you couldn't get in there. You're sitting on the floor. Every time I was in the Karaoke Bar, I sat on the floor for whatever it was. If it was for karaoke, if it was for trivia, anything at the Karaoke Bar, my butt was on the floor. This is the last one, I promise. You can see this vein in my neck. It's hurting me to say some of these. But the elevator system, it's confusing to most. It was a little confusing to get used to it for me. If you have first-time cruisers, good luck. It was always packed, like literally packed. I used the stairs a lot on this cruise. And for some reason, even though it was packed, they still threw a full-size piano in there to play music. I guess it was like an act. At like 6 p.m. some nights, I would just see a guy going up in an elevator with a full piano where they can only like stuff 2 other guests in there. So like, cool, but like I'd rather not take the steps. So that wraps up my grievances for today. I trust that this video offered you some kind of insight, because that's my goal here. That's our goal here on the Boat Breaker channel. As I mentioned before, I'm definitely hoping to hop on board the Icon of the Seas when it comes out and the price goes down a little bit, so stay tuned for that adventure. Before we part ways, a big thank you if you stuck around till now. Drop a comment, shout me out in the comments if you stuck around till now, and maybe we have a little surprise for you later. Also, this was an expensive cruise, but if you want to see what a $45 cruise is, I'll leave it in the description. We recently just got off of Margaritaville at sea, and that was $45 a person. So if you want to check that out, that's in the description. Thanks a bunch. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.